Jackson State gets the win over Campbell, 22-14, in a hard-fought slugfest of a game. Let's talk about it and why, if you're a JSU fan, you should walk away from this game very, very happy about your team for the rest of the season after the bumper. What is up, everybody? What is up, everybody? My name is JeffLightsYJr here with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we just about upload all the time. Hit that thumbs up button on your way in because Jackson State got the 22-14 victory over Campbell. It was homecoming. The celebs were out. Rick Ross, the cast of P-Valley, Snoop Dogg, everything. They had the prime seats on the sideline. It was everything above and beyond from everything that I saw. The only thing that wasn't any good was the broadcast, the actual telecast, the broadcast production, the quality of the game. ESPN, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. If that's on JSU, you got to upgrade your cameras. I saw someone say that it looked like it was a VHS, a messed up VHS from the early 90s. It was horrible. But what wasn't horrible was the game on the field. JSU defense came and showed out. Now, Shedeur had his struggles. Savion Wilkerson came in and put the ball game away with the last touchdown. Defense gave up a little, chummy touchdown at the end. But shout out to Campbell. This game lived up to the hype. This game was everything it was supposed to be. It was smash mouth, hard-nosed football. Now, here's the thing. Here is why, even after only an 8-point win, if you're a Jackson State fan, you ought to be very, very proud of your team. One, the referees were questionable, but I'm not one to blame the referees on everything. They were questionable on both sides, both ends of the football. Both ends of the football. But at the end of the day, you have to be exceptionally proud of your team. And here's why. Your Heisman candidate, Shedeur, probably had the worst game of his career. Maybe the second worst game. Definitely the worst game of this season. He had the worst game of the season, and you still pretty much controlled the game after the first quarter. You still pretty much controlled the game after the first quarter. You got down to the red zone 3 times and had to settle for 3 field goals. You threw an interception in the red zone, and then J.D. Martin fumbled in the red zone. So think about that. 3 times you left a potential, walked away with 9 points instead of 18 points. Or 21 points, 9 points instead of 21 points. You had an extra point block, and you threw an interception, and J.D. Martin fumbled. And you still were able to come away with a 22-8 victory. Why? Because the play of the defense. Also, be sure to follow the stream, follow my site over there on Facebook, Jeff Lightsy Sports on Facebook. But the play of the defense, here's the thing about college football that we know. If you watch college football in any capacity, FBS level, FCS level, your offense is going to have a day like this. Shedeur and the offense didn't have their best day. They couldn't run the ball for the majority of the game until Savion finally got going in the fourth quarter. And so you're going to have a slugfest sometimes. But the beautiful thing about having a slugfest is that a lot of times the best defense wins. The best defense wins. And Jackson State has one of the best, if not the best defense in all of FCS. And they proved it once again. Not only do they have a great defense as far as the starters, the rotation is exceptionally well. Travis played for the first time this year, played a decent game. Nugget had a good game. Tavion Beasley, the freshman out of California, St. John Bosco, friend of the show, been on the platform, had a good game. Shiloh didn't play till like the fourth quarter, came in and was lowering the boom. And if it wasn't for the elusiveness of Haj Malik Williams, shout out to Haj Malik Williams, they would have had about 10 sacks. Haj Malik Williams was just making folks miss in a phone booth. The dude's elusive. And you might not find a guy that elusive the rest of the way. Bashawn McCray for Southern has some of that same ability, but I don't know if he has it to that capacity. If you go to the Celebration Bowl and you play a team like a South Carolina State who got a big-time win over North Carolina Central, Maybe Corey Fields has some of that elusibility, but not to that level. Malik Williams is a good player. He's not the perfect passer. And if Campbell, and it's a different story, but if Campbell wants to take their game to the next level, their defense is really, really stout. They're going to have to get that next level quarterback. They're going to have to get a quarterback that can beat you from the pocket. They're going to have to get a guy like a Shedeur Sanders. But that defense from JSU showed up and showed out. This is a Campbell team that they didn't run around North Carolina Central. They ran through North Carolina Central, beat them 48-18, beat them by 30 points. Now, some of you, if you're a hater, you'll say, well, North Carolina Central lost to South Carolina State. South Carolina State's having a down year. If you're a hater, you'll say that. But that North Carolina Central team isn't bad. They did get upset by South Carolina State. But South Carolina State are the reigning HBCU national champions. South Carolina State is a program that's sent plenty of guys to the NFL. South Carolina State controls their own destiny and could very well see you in the Celebration Bowl this year. South Carolina State is no slouch. South Carolina State is no chump. South Carolina State, the MEAC still goes through Orangeburg, as they proved today. And so coming into this game, a lot of folks thought that Campbell, with their massive offensive line, the 75 on Campbell was 6'6" or 6'8", 380, massive man, was going to be able to manhandle JSU. Campbell, with their four-headed monster, the three running backs and the quarterback, Malik, was going to be able to run through JSU, just like they did North Carolina Central. And Campbell, with their up-tempo offense, was going to wear down JSU. None of that was true. Aubrey Miller was the star of the game. Although he missed a couple of sacks because Hodge is just that elusive, when the plays needed to be made behind the backfield, when the booms needed to be made behind the backfield, when a spark play and to get the crowd in the 50, 55, 60,000, however many was in the vet today, needed to get up on their feet, Aubrey made the play. He was my MVP. Aubrey Miller was the MVP of the game because anytime JSU needed a play, he made the play. And the thing about defenses in college football, they travel. Your offense is going to have a day like this. You don't hope to have too many days like this. And with Shedeur as the quarterback, you're not going to have too many days like this. But sometimes you go against a worthy foe like a Campbell. You just need to make the plays when they need to be made. And in the end, some folks will blame the play call on whatever. In the end, the defense stood the test of time, showed up and showed out, and the offense, when they needed to make a play, made a play at the end of the game. Savion Wilkerson took it in to put the final nail in the coffin and win the game for him. And then the onside recovery by DJ Stevens to kind of wrap this whole thing up. So if you're a JSU fan, you should walk away from this game ecstatic, because folks tried to say your defense was only doing that against teams that couldn't put points on the board. What did I say the keys to the game were? I say if JSU got a lead, that I believed before the game, now they had to go out and prove it, but I believed before the game that their defense would stand the test of time and their defense will be able to stop the run, and Malik Williams couldn't beat him from the pocket. That's what I said before the game. And what happened? Malik Williams made a Superman play to score that first touchdown. I mean, he just made a miraculous play, made about 4 dudes miss, and got into the end zone. JSU finally took the lead, and then the defense just lights out. They gave up a touchdown in the first quarter. They didn't give another point until under a minute left in the game. Think about that. JSU gave up a touchdown in the first quarter. Campbell didn't score again until 30 seconds left in the game. I think it was 26 seconds to be exact. That is called stout defense. Bravo to Aubrey Miller. Bravo to the guys on the defensive side for Jackson State. And bravo to defense coordinator Dennis Thurman. Dennis Thurman has a ton of dogs on his team. Now, if you have anything to kind of nitpick, because your offense is not going to play like that again. I don't believe your offense is going to play like that again the rest of the season. That's just my humble opinion. I could be totally wrong, but that's what I believe. If there's anything, if you're a fan and you want to be objective and kind of nitpick, you want to nitpick anything, what I will say with the elusiveness of the quarterbacks, you want a guy that's a closer. And what I mean by a closer, that means get those sacks and close the game. Jackson State could have had 10 sacks in this game. But there were a couple of times where Hodge may be the most elusive quarterback you play all season. But there were a couple of times where Hodge made Niles Gaddy miss, made Aubrey Miller miss, made some of these guys miss when you would have liked to see him get on the ground. when you would have liked to see him be sacked, when you would have liked to see what Hodge would turn into like a 3-yard run be an 8-yard loss or a 9-yard loss. That's where James Houston came in. See, James Houston didn't miss sacks last year. And I thought Niles Gaddy, after that first game where he had like 4 sacks and 4.5 sacks through 2 games, I thought Niles Gaddy had taken that step into being that closer. I'm not so sure anymore. He's kind of went quiet the rest of the season. And so that is the only thing. If you want to be nitpicky about anything, because the defense put up a virtuoso performance. I know they're kicking themselves for giving up that last touchdown. But if you want to be nitpicky about anything, this is just me just throwing something out there, you want to see somebody emerge as the closer. I don't know if you have that guy this season, but like I said, last year, James Houston was the closer. He didn't miss sacks. When he got you in his grips, you wasn't getting away. It wasn't no juking around James Houston. Can someone be that for JSU? I don't think with all that pressure and all the attack style defense that they play that someone will be able to beat them with the way their defense is playing. But you do want to see someone step up as a closer. But once again, that's just me being nitpicky. This game was beautiful to watch from both sides. Because, hey, clap it up for Campbell. They were a worthy homecoming opponent. They were a real good team. Coach Mike Minter got those guys to come in and play. Their defensive line is stout. Their defense is stout, period. JSU just made enough plays to win this game. On offense, they run the ball, but they're too one-dimensional. They need to be able to get a quarterback and get someone that can deliver the ball and beat you from the pocket if they want to take the next step and be in a really, really good powerhouse type FCS program. But this is a game I think we'll see again in the future. These two, both Coach Minter and Coach Prime, showed a lot of love to each other pregame, showed a lot of love to each other during the game, and showed even more love to each other post-game. And so I think this could be something that you see moving forward between these two really, really up-and-coming FCS institutions. But Jackson State, 22-14 win over Campbell. And the Tigers are 7-0. Do I smell an undefeated season? Next week, Southern comes into the vet looking to upset JSU and to put a wet blanket on a blazing hot fire to try to end that undefeated streak on the year. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. This is Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in, and you can follow me at JLightsy7 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, at JLightsy7 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, I'm on Facebook. Shout out to the Facebook gang. The Facebook gang shows a whole lot of love. They hit that like button, they share the broadcast, and they do all the good stuff. But if you want to see me on Facebook, it's Jeff Lightsy Sports. That is Jeff Lightsy Sports on Facebook. Thank you guys for tuning in. I can't wait to the next live call-in show this week. I just had to do this in a hurry-up manner because I got somewhere to be. But thank you guys. Hit the like before you head out, and I will see you next time. Peace.